Hi, my name is Devika Kumar and I'm the author of Responsible Abandon, Structured Play as Grounds for Creativity and Innovation.
Hi, my name is Sean Hoffman. I'm the author of Venture Ball, The Art of Winning in Professional Sports by Innovating Outside the Lines.
Hi, my name is Rishi Kshatriya and I'm the author of El Valle de Silicio, Why Latin America Will Be the World's Next Tech Boom.
Hi, my name is Gina Kim and my upcoming book is called Millennials and the Resurgence of the American City.
Hi, I'm Michaela Durso and I'm the author of The Digital Connection.
Hi, my name is Matthew Henry. I am the author of Working Together, Why We Need Bipartisanship in American Politics.
Hi, my name is Katie Rogers. I'm the author of One of the Boys, and it's a book about how you can succeed as a woman in a male-dominated field.
I'm Andrew Feinstein, author of Find Your Mind, Meditation for the Bold and Ambitious.
Hi, my name is Karina Chan, and I am the author of Women in Venture Capital, How to Break into the Boys Club of Venture Capital, Lessons Learned from the Best of the Best.
Hi, my name is David Rivera, and I'm the author of OutListen, designing a feed-forward digital strategy to nudge your customer base online.
Hi, my name is Jack Reichert. I'm the author of Ha, Laugh at Why You're Laughing.
Hi, my name is Faye Sardoun Lind. I'm the author of Unveiled, Through the Eyes of an Arab Woman.
Hi, my name is Annabelle Newell, and I'm the author of Eating the Internet, Consuming Digital Food Media.
Hi, my name is Hunter Tiedemann, and I'm the author of Next Gen Leadership, Secrets to Success for Future Leaders.
Here we are, an epic day. Awesome to be able to celebrate these authors in their journey. But one of the things I always like to make sure to remember is that this is the culmination of a many-month process of twists and turns and moments of doubts. And that's why this is so powerful, is that this special moment is one that we celebrate, but we also don't forget, there were moments along the way where this seemed like this might not actually happen.
I'm so excited. I mean, it's crazy to think about like all these months just condensed into this one moment. I mean, just seeing the cover, I was like bloody amazed. I was like, oh my God, like I can't believe, like me, like what? But at the end of the day, other people got to read it and I got positive approval in a way. And I got a lot of feedback along the way and it's been quite a journey. Like I've enjoyed the process and it's been unbelievable. And it's been an excuse to meet some powerful people that I never thought I'd be worthy of being in the room in, but yeah, I'm excited.
I'm feeling great actually, Eric, you know, because I was so worried that I wasn't going to finish. I was so worried actually that I was going to give up. But then I decided that I could either push myself, finish it, and be proud of it, or be disappointed that I didn't finish it. I'm good, I'm happy with it.
I think I envisioned it. I was like, oh, I'm just gonna read a book, it's gonna be fun. Like, I don't know if it was fun, but I mean it was, like along the way, but it's definitely challenging.
It was definitely, I definitely feared having that conversation about, switching topics just because we were already like probably like a month into the process and I knew that if I did switch topics, I would be behind a little bit. But I remember talking to you earlier, it's just like I wasn't really feeling that topic and like it didn't get me as excited. So I turned to my other two interests, entrepreneurship, startups, and sports, and kind of just figured out that those ideas are just so perfect together and very compelling. And I could tell a great story using those topics and illustrate my points more directly. Like that's what got me excited about the book.
I got sick the week that I was publishing. So it was just super shitty situation. And my thing was, okay, when is this thing gonna be ready? When am I actually going to be able to put out something that I can show people and just talk about? Because theoretically, I could justify in my black and white mind, oh, I need this many years of experience working in marketing. So I should actually postpone it and reach back to Eric like 5 years into my career. I should actually, I should probably be a senior person in this place to actually, it just kept going and kept going and kept going to the point where I was just like, you know what, why don't I try to package as much as possible so people are actually able to consume things, just not, so, my little bubble, just me talking to myself and being in that little bubble was not a healthy place to be. And now I'm happy I broke out of that and I'm able to say, okay, I'm just gonna show you what I got. I worked hard on this, but I'm just gonna show you and please tell me what you think.
One thing about dealing with or interviewing women who are VCs, partners at their firms, they have to make sure that the things that they say won't kind of put their fund in a weird spotlight. They can't try to seem like they're selling anything. So going back through the revision process and then making sure that everything was legally okay was a bit of a struggle. Especially just because I've never gone through this kind of process before. I didn't know what to expect. So that was a challenge. Yeah, trying not to get sued.
We start off the journey with a very simple question. Where do you want to go in life someday? Now, the important thing about these books for these authors is that the someday is really designed to be something that becomes attainable because we give them a tool to go out and interview people, research them, and find their own path there. So some of them may have never thought that that someday item could happen, but from the power of creating something like their books, they get themselves one more step closer to ultimately where they want to go in life.
So the book in very many ways legitimized me doing comedy almost as a profession, which I never thought would actually be a thing. I always thought I'd go into marketing or something. But once I had this book, I all of a sudden had this confidence where it was like, oh, I could go and regularly do stand-up, or oh, I don't have an internship this summer, why don't I make my own almost. And so I went to New York, I spent the summer there doing stand-up, and I street performed every day, which was the most terrifying thing I've ever done, but it was also one of the most rewarding things.
I would say the coolest conversation I had was with Jeff Hoffman, who founded Priceline.com. He's a remarkably successful serial entrepreneur, and he became a yes man about 5 years ago and said, I'll talk to anybody, and I got him on the phone for 15 minutes. And his story is in, what is that, chapter 9, Live Your Values. And he's right there in the book. I'm like, I was speaking to this guy for 15 minutes on the phone in my college dorm room. The funniest story was certainly interviewing Michael Teo basically in my underwear. Giving that ridiculous story of not recognizing the time difference between here and Malaysia, but it made it work. So yeah, I'll learn that one next time.
And so I get on the phone with this woman who I just knew was a strategist at BBDO in Chicago, and it was like super cool. Like, and she says, "Okay, well, like I don't know anything about you. Like I don't have your resume. I don't have anything. So just tell me a little bit."
It couldn't start out any worse, could it? Like, just doing this, I know nothing about you. Go.
She was like, "Well, like just like give me a little bit of a context here." But yeah,
right.
it was
not
very
a bad
blunt.
way. I mean, she's like, "Well, listen, I don't, I'm just doing you a favor."
Yeah, exactly. It was very much just like, sure, I'll let the kid ask me some questions. And I start talking about obviously what I'm doing, a huge part of which is the book. And she stops me for a second. She goes, "Wait, tell me more," because I'm trying to come up with like a client strategy. I can't tell you who it is, but like I'm trying to pitch something to a client in the food world.
No way.
Yeah.
Really?
The conversation instantly turns from me asking her questions about like her career and how she got there and like all that stuff.
Wow.
And I hadn't even gotten to those questions at this point. It was truly like, who are you?
It's like, wait a second.
Yeah.
You could help me is sort of what it turned into right away.
It turned immediately into that. And next thing, like 30 minutes later, for 30 minutes, we had been talking about like what trends I was seeing and what she had already been considering and me kind of responding to, and like,
no way.
Yeah, it just became this collaborative thing.
So went from being, hey, I'm like this kid, right? Like hoping to learn from you, to basically you're a peer helping me build a strategy to pitch a client.
Absolutely.
It's the coolest job interview story I've ever heard. Like, that's amazing.
It was great.
How can someone who's in their 20s write a book? They don't know anything. Well, I think that's part of the magic of this entire experience, is that they can write a book in their 20s because they don't do it alone. And part of the process is that they go out and they interview people, they research people, they talk to people, and they learn. And that's what these books are, is they're a collection of insights, experiences, and knowledge that the authors go out, gather, and along the way, they meet some incredibly important and unusual people.
I think the coolest thing was realizing how connected the network that I was reaching out to was. When I talked to Stephanie Palmieri, she referred me to Trey Basayo, who wrote The Elephant in the Valley, that survey, which was cool. So each of the women I interviewed, they would refer me to somebody else to interview with another cool story, and so it's a very virtuous cycle. I definitely really liked talking to Stephanie Palmieri. She had such an interesting story where she crashed on her friend's floor for 2 weeks, just like decided to move across the country with no kind of certainty of where she was going to end up, and ended up becoming a VC out of it, which I think was very ballsy and really cool.
Like, I feel like I talked to so many people, like, along the way, like, even in the beginning, like, I was excited, like, I talked to all these, like, famous, like, food Instagrammers, like, Jessica Hirsch for Cheat Day Eats, like, Jeremy Jacobowitz for Brunch Boys, and, like, then I started talking to marketing people, so Jen Pelka, she founded Magnum PR, and she has her own, like, champagne bar in San Francisco, and, like, Holly List, like, there were just so many people that I was able to speak to, which was really interesting. Well, I think I realized that it was more of social media kind of became like a marketing mecca, and you see it every day, and it kind of took me a while to realize that that was it. Like, at first I was just seeing like restaurants and good pictures of food, and I was like, oh, like I want to go there, like I want this, but like there's actually so much science and like thought that goes into it to make it what it is.
Growing up, I did martial arts since I was 5 years old, and so kind of that's an environment that you're surrounded by boys a lot, and so kind of growing up through that was a really interesting experience for me, and it's kind of made me someone who gets along really well with guys, and I have a lot of guy friends, and so I kind of wanted to explore other women succeeding in fields like that, and so I wanted to be able to tell the stories of other people who had similar experiences to me. I just got to talk to so many incredible women. They were so willing to help me. I think there's kind of like a special network almost when you have women like that where they really want to help you. And something that they kind of emphasized over and over again was that they always tried to find other women that they could help. And so that was really cool. And then just hearing kind of the stories of how they kind of persevered through some very crazy things, honestly.
I thought at some point during my marketing process, honestly, when I was looking for quotes, I just wasn't getting a quote. And eventually Tim Draper, you know, big name in VC out in Silicon Valley, he responded to me and was like, yeah, like, this, I think this is spot on, and eventually endorsed my book. So that's pretty awesome to feel validated.
Well, what's next? Well, this really does represent just the beginning. It's an exciting accomplishment for these authors to have done something awesome. But now we get to watch, sit back, and observe all the cool things that happen next. We're proud of you, and now we're waiting to see what happens next.
I felt like at points I was like stalking people, but then it was just getting responses. And from people who have day jobs who were actually important, and then getting them to respond to like me, it was really great. And I think that having those types of people, especially like Tawakkol Karman, who was the first person to win a Nobel Peace Prize as an Arab woman, is actually really, really amazing. It was just very humbling to see that, oh wow, this person actually like reached back out to me. Talking to Ms. Karman was really, really weird and crazy in the moment, and just hearing about her experiences starting a revolution and being a part of it and becoming named the mother of a revolution, that's pretty crazy and all.
I guess the angle is like, how do I create a career out of something that I love, which for me has been meditation. And I think like I always saw it as...
I love that, by the way. That was awesome. Like, how do I create a career out of something I love? And that's meditation. So how did you, though, discover this as something that you want to, that you love?
Definitely. Well, I guess to tie it all in, it started with a book.
Really?
Yeah, so I read a book called The Way of the Peaceful Warrior by Dan Millman. If he's watching this, I would love to interview him.
I was on a lunch date, and you know, I looked to my right, I was like, that's Jesse Jackson. And then the girl that I was with also saw like that was Jesse Jackson. So I was thinking, you know what, I gotta find a way to impress her. And I do need an interview for the book at the same time. So I was like, all right, how can I go around this? So I waited, and then he like lifted up. He's this really macho guy. I'm like, damn, like, how am I supposed to talk to him? But I was like, you know what? And I told her, I was like, you know what, I'm gonna talk to Jesse. I called him Jesse, I was like trying to be casual, you know? I was like, I'm gonna go talk to Jesse. He's like, no way. And I got up and I started interviewing him. And it was great. And he gave me actually some really good content about, you know, I'm not gonna lie, he was talking about Trump and, you know, everything that's happening with the current administration, but he was able to articulate everything into like 1 or 2 sentences. And I was like, man, he's so bloody articulate. Like it was awesome. I was so starstruck. And even though I was trying to impress someone, it was so amazing that if you have that self-confidence, even in a moment's time, you can talk to anybody, and they're so appreciative, like how you taught us. It wasn't about, he didn't reject me. He wasn't like, oh, go away, you peasant. You know, he was just like, yeah, I'm more than happy. Like, it would be an honor if you interviewed me. Like, I was like, damn, like, people are so nice.
I think my senior fall, which is when I kind of started this whole journey, it was very much like, cool, I've always wanted to write a book. I wonder what that will feel like. Do I have like the commitment, the like ability to even like do this thing that I've always wanted to do since I was a kid? And very much like your senior fall, I was graduating early. So like my senior fall, I was like, I'm just good to see what happens and I'm gonna do it. And I did something and I wrote something and I have honestly no idea what I wrote. Like, I think I got rid of most of it. But I think just like that beginning, I think like anything, and I think a lot of people tell you this when they talk about journeys or things, like that initial starting, that initial creation is the hardest bit, because it's the bit that is like the part where you need to start believing in yourself. And so that's kind of where it started. And then I went abroad to Asia for 3 months, left the book way far in the back, let it stress me out from afar, and was like, cool, I'm not thinking about this until I have to. And I came back and I was like, I had some time before I started work, and I was thinking, wow, like I graduated, but you know, I never finished this thing I said I wanted to do. And I was like, if I really am going to be a person, like an adult, like a real person who does what they say they do, like I should finish this. And so after a lot of like, wow, I don't have to do this extra work, because transitioning to a job is hard enough, but I was like, you know, I said I was going to do it, so I'm going to do it. I definitely was like, okay, I'm going to try. And I think beyond what I thought possible, and I think even beyond what you and Brian thought possible, the book came together and became like this living thing that I looked at the other day and was like, wow, I wrote that. Like, that's a thing that exists and actually says something. Has like real tangible impact in stories. So I'm super excited for it to kind of be something I can hold in my hand now.
Georgetown was not working for me for a while. The first 2 years especially were very difficult. And there was the day when I remember signing up for the class. I'm not in a business school, so I had to go through the whole process. I was gonna move heaven and earth to do it. And I've kind of discovered a new way of going about things now. I mean, no matter what was going on at Georgetown, I always had this book to fall back on. This project, I could reach out to anybody. I remember one person just told me, like, this is a license to go hunting. Whoever it is you want to talk to, whatever you want to talk about, send them an email.
I think the coolest moment is, well, most importantly, it's the overarching learning that I gained. It's the confidence in sort of this perspective that there's nothing to lose anymore, not being scared of judgment, not being scared of taking risks. And I got a job because of that, you know, because of that new attitude. I became better at sales and cold calling. Actually, it was really funny the other day in class. I hadn't read the case for class because I was too busy editing my book that night. So I started laughing. We were talking about this case, and it was about scooters, and I had no idea what the scooter was, no idea how much it cost, zero idea what the value proposition was. And he was like, who wants to come pitch me this scooter? And then I started laughing. And then he was like, okay, you come do it. I stood up, I wasn't scared, I did it. Everyone came up to me afterwards, they were like, have you done sales before? Oh, you did a really good job. I literally just completely made up the entire thing. But that's something that I would have been so scared to do before, because it would have been like, wow, everyone's gonna think I'm stupid. I don't want them to think that, I don't want them to think I'm smart. But I thought that challenge and that improv, that is the biggest thing that I've learned and gotten from this book. It's the willingness to see something and be like, okay, this is an opportunity to play. And this is an opportunity to test myself and see what I can do, and why not? Who cares? Let's just do it. That got me a job, that got me better at sales, got me more confident in myself. And that's it.
So we're done.